What is up, people? Long time no see. So here we go. I am finally bringing you a Pokemon X and Y battle. So little story behind this battle. I went up to this tournament called the Fall Classic over here in Raleigh. I came for Smash Brothers, enjoy a lot of the FGC stuff, and they ended up having a Pokemon side event there. So I decided, you know what? I'm gonna enter Pokemon. It's been a while since I've played, and I can possibly win some free money here, so why not? So it turns out it wasn't exactly as free as I expected it to be. There was actually a lot of really good players right here. This is one of them that I ended up running into. His name is Mistress Woe. I can't remember his real name or his tag that he went by, so I'm sorry about that if you're watching. So here's the thing, though. This is actually game 2 of our set. So he ended up winning game 1 because I was really unprepared for that Celebi that right there that he had on his team. So I did end up learning a lot, and game 2. And then, spoiler alert, eventually game 3, I ended up doing much better. So anyway, you can see the teams right there. He's got a Gardevoir, a Heatran, Scizor, Celebi, Latias, and a Gyarados. My team, this is a team I kind of made with Phoenix Master 1. And I kind of made the base work around this team around Mega Charizard X because I thought that he would be an exceptionally good Pokemon for this tournament. And it just turns out he really was. And I'm very glad I made this team around him. So we got Rotom Wash, Charizard, Latias, Ferrothorn, Keldeo, and Landorus. So a really solid team. Thanks to Phoenix Master 1. Go check him out, and because he definitely did a lot of the legwork on this team with all the investments and everything. So you can also check out the team in the description if you want to end up using it. My team that I use at this tournament. So anyway, enough about that. Let's go ahead, hop on into this match, and see what game 2 of me versus Mistress Woe ends up coming out to be. Alright, so I'm probably going to be super rusty at this, but let's go ahead and hop into it. So he ends up leading with his Gyarados, as I end up leading with my Rotom. I believe this is the same leads as Game 1, so this is really good for me. Now, Game 1, I ended up just going straight for a Volt Switch as he switched into his Scizor. This time, I'm actually going to go straight for a Will-O-Wisp, tag that Scizor. If he decided to stay in with his Gyarados, that would have been great as well. However, we'll find out a little bit later, his Gyarados is actually carrying Substitute. So that's going to be something that he's going to have to think about in the future. So anyway, he goes for a U-turn. I noticed that it does a little bit more than I previously would have thought a Burn Scizor would do. So I'm thinking maybe that thing's a little bit banded. Now, he actually U-turns straight out into his Gardevoir, and this is really big for him because I really don't have anything for this Gardevoir. I can go into my Ferrothorn and hope on maybe like a Focus Blast miss or something, because I am a more specially defensive Ferrothorn, but if he ends up actually hitting it. Now, my Ferrothorn is significantly weakened, and he can easily go for another Focus Blast. He might have been able to go for just like a Hyper Voice and take me out. So he knows this, and he's going to actually take this opportunity to go into his Gyarados because I cannot mess around with that Gardevoir. So now right here, I end up finding out that he is a substitute Gyarados. I was really afraid of this at the moment because I end up going for my Stealth Rocks. However, I do end up running Power Whip on this Ferrothorn, so I am able to at least break the substitute. But right now, he's going to end up be able to get a free chance to Dragon Dance up on me, as I actually end up missing the Power Whip, which really sucks. Now, I was saying earlier, this is actually more of a specially defensive Ferrothorn. Generally, Ferrothorn versus Gyarados bodes really well for Ferrothorn, but depending on the coverage Gyarados ends up running. But because I'm more specially defensive than physically defensive, this can actually go in Gyarados' favor, especially now that he's at +2. I end up finally breaking the substitute with the Power Whip, and he reveals the Bounce, which is a very interesting move on Gyarados. You don't really see it that much anymore. I kind of like it, and it definitely threw me off guard right here because he ends up going for the Bounce, that stab, and they end up killing my Ferrothorn from over half HP, which is crazy. So now I'm looking at a +2 Gyarados, but I do see that he has Bounce, he definitely is going to be carrying Waterfall and Dragon Dance and sub, so I'm kind of safe going into my Rotom. He goes for the Waterfall, trying to get a flinch, and if he did get that flinch, I was probably toast. So, but he ends up not getting it. I end up killing him off with that Volt Switch, which is great for me. Now, he goes into his, he ends up going into his Gardevoir on my Landorus. I know from game 1 that I can actually live a Hyper Voice from full. So I end up going for a knockoff. I didn't go for Earthquake because he does still have that Celebi and I believe the Latias in his back pocket. So I can't go for Earthquake and do even more damage. And also, turns out he has an Air Balloon on his Heatran, so that was another option that I just did not have. So he goes into his Heatran, and he ends up going for a Toxic as I switch into Keldeo. Now Keldeo, not really going to do a ton of work here because he has 2 huge checks to Keldeo. This Latias and his Celebi. Now, I know that he's not really going to want to stay in on my Keldeo with his Heatran, so I'm actually going to make the prediction, go straight for the Icy Wind, which is excellent for me. Choice Specs Icy Wind can easily 2-hit KO his Latias, and he does get that speed drop, so he's not going to be faster than me. So he's not going to want that. He can tell that I'm Choice Specs. He's going to switch back into his Heatran, which honestly I don't really have any problem with because it ends up popping his Balloon, which can make this killing this Heatran so much easier. So I'm going to go into my Rotom. Rotom isn't really going to do a lot either because, again, he has that Celebi and the Latias. Latias, however, is weakened. So I'm going to just go into Rotom. I end up getting Toxic, but it's no real big deal. So I'm going to go for the Volt Switch, I believe, right here because I'm just going to try to get some momentum back into this game. Latias ends up coming in. I'm just going to Volt Switch right on out, and I'm going to go into my Landorus so that I can just U-turn. So Landorus is sitting there at 4 HP. His Scizor, I believe, is dead, so I'm not really worried about this thing at all. So I'm just going to go straight for the U-turn as he brings in his Heatran. So now I'm just like, you know what? I have an opportunity here. I see that his Heatran has Toxic. It's probably got a Fire move, but I'm just a little afraid of that Earth Power, so I set up Dragon Dance in his face in normal Charizard form, and I end up friggin' getting the prediction right. He does have Earth Power. You should have seen this guy's face whenever I did that. He was like, what? So I am a +1 Charizard right now. And I'm going to go for a +2 as he decides to switch out into his Gardevoir. And this is amazing for me. I am Toxic, but I do have Roost. And Mega Charizard X is about to go on a tear. So I Mega Evolve into Charizard X. I'm faster than everything on his team. I can kill everything on his team with the right moves, which is amazing for me. I go for the Flare Blitz on that Gardevoir. He goes into his Heatran. He gets rocks damage. That's an easy kill range from Stab, Tough Claws, Dragon Claw now. And all he's got left is, I believe, the Latias and the Celebi. So that is really good for me. He goes into his Celebi. He kind of admits defeat here. He probably could have played a few little mind games and stuff with the Toxic damage, but he kind of admits defeat, wants to move on to Game 3, and I end up killing off his Celebi with a full Flare Blitz, and that is a dead thing right there. Last he has is a Latias, and I'm going to go ahead and just finish this thing off with, I think it was a knockoff, and that's pretty much ends game 2 of our set, and we move on to Game 3. So, yeah, GG, Mistress Woe. Thank you so much for the game. So, Game 2 actually ended up being really fun. So, yeah, anyway, thank you guys for watching. Stay tuned for more matches that I had from this. I got one more match that's going to go on this channel. The Game 3 of this set, and then I have my full Grand Finals match, Game 1, 2, and 3, over on my other channel, Frame Zero Gaming. So, thank you guys for watching. Like, comment, sub, all that stuff. I promise I will hopefully be working on some more content soon. So yeah, I actually was trying to maybe do a little bit of Showdown, but ended up crashing. So no Showdown right now. But yeah, thank you guys for watching. I love you all. Deuces.